Hello, good morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. Um, so, last time we worked on a couple of new subsections here. The whole purpose of this particular stream is for me to get really comfortable with this library called LaTeX. And LaTeX is a publishing style or program that's been around for a really long time. It's how your textbooks get textbooks, and it's how you put math formulas into documents. But you can also code for graphs. And so, what I'm doing is I'm going through my old college notes and trying to get better at this thing called LaTeX or PyLaTeX. Now, I will say that the whole point of this is to generate reports. So sometimes whenever you're doing any sort of software development or machine learning, your client wants to see a report at the end. Well, this is one way that you can create it. So basically, my whole goal with this is at the very end to be able to export all of the files that I've generated into a PDF that can be downloadable. So last time we worked on a couple of new sections, and you see here we did create subsection, and then we appended this information to that subsection. However, here I just have a long list of creates. So that is going to be the first thing that I fixed today. Is I want to append these phrases to this subsection instead of creating a string. And how I found that out is last time we generated this doc called full text, and I was expecting there to be a lot of text, kind of like here in lines 24 and 26, and there wasn't. Instead, there were just these empty subsections. So I want to go back in to the particular subsections and make sure that we get append on those. Then I will regenerate that file so we can look to make sure that all of this text has been added and tabbed over appropriately, kind of like how we expect. Now this is a new subsection called voltage. The particular notes that I'm transcribing are from my instrumental analysis class when I was in college. And I'm to that point in my life where the word create doesn't even look like a real word anymore. So that's fun. Okay, and then these are the sections that we have left to add in this particular note set. There are a lot of equations here. Let's see if we can generate this new thing. That's pretty cool. And we do have indeed a lot more text. Now, something that's interesting to me is we're getting this problem here. Characters invisible. Possible spelling mistake. I don't think so. But we have 33 issues here. Full space between sentences. Let's see here. White space. Sure, let's open this. Method contains on null object. That's interesting. I'm sorry, it looks like my connection's a bit slow today. Okay. It looks like it's doing okay. Okay, so we have add a space between sentences. Apparently that's illegal. That's on line 21 underneath the subsection charge. Here, there's no white space. Negative depicted. Let's see what this one says. This is the more fulgic rule. Clear filter. Oh, okay. Interesting. So, let's see here. Yeah, music stopped. Okay. So, because there's nothing between these, it's saying that there should be a space because it's reading the word as negative depicted. Then here we're getting math RMQ. Again, that's spelling mistake, sentence, space between sentences. Okay, this is kind of interesting. So I want to go back in here. So we have append, but there's no punctuation or space or anything. Let's figure out LaTeX bullet on next line. Okay. Okay, let's search the docs here for a bullet. So here I'm just looking at the text document, which is the, it's encoded. Let's look at some examples. I think I did this. Yeah. Let's look at the lists example. That's kind of what I want. The itemized list. Let's see here. With doc create section, then we have subsection, and I kind of thought we might end up needing to do this. Then let's do with doc dot create itemize as itemize. Let's see if we need to do an import for that. Yeah, from PyLaTeX import itemize. go. Let's do itemize, and let's do, instead of this as the name, let's do this as the section name, as charge. And now here we'll do charge, and then for the next one we'll do current, and the command is add item. Add underscore item. And then this entire section needs to be tabbed over. There we go. Let's see if we can't get this implemented a little bit more. With create, we want to make an itemized list, as this one is for current. Let's do current. And then we need to do add item all the way down as well. And this whole thing needs to get tabbed over to fit inside this with loop. Okay, cool. Now, I'm wondering how you get these here. Well, I'm kind of curious to see what this makes. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this and run it. And then we'll see here. We have itemize, cool. We have an item, then we have another item, then another item. Then we have a new line. Okay, so we have an item, then a space. So we want to get rid of these here. The breaks, we want to get rid of those. Because it'll just be an empty bullet point. Okay, now let's see here. That's better. Item. Then we have it tabbed over. That's great. We still have a new line. Where's that one? There it is. Cool. Okay. Then we have our next subsection. And then we have our next set of items. And we have this weird error. Okay, it's not reading it as a fraction. So I wonder if we have to import something into our pi file here for it to recognize the fraction. Then here we have our, that's great. That's kind of exactly what I want. Okay. Okay, we got the subsection. Then here's this, in the PyLatex docs, there's a complex report example, which is what I'm very interested in. We get a header on each page and a footer on each page. And that's something that I'm very interested in. So that's something that we might come back to later. We have a graph. We'll have to come back to that later. NumPy. We have to import math, it looks like. Let's see what happens if we import math. Yeah. So when we run this, this should be a lot better. It's still not recognizing the fraction. Okay, let's see what the slash frac library is a part of. Is it backslash? Yeah. Frac. Fractions. 122. So it looks like we have two options. We can either use nice frac, or this other one called X frac, which is a little bit newer. But it looks like nice frac. It's gonna be what we have to do. So we have math up here. So it's not part of the native LaTeX library. It's part of the units package. Units. Also not part of the LaTeX, LaTeX native library. Okay, let's see. Okay. And then, let's see, pi LaTeX fraction. It's saying that I can find it in the pi LaTeX docs, which I have up, but I'm not seeing anything about fractions. Yeah, there's no results, library usage, classes, extending pi LaTeX. You can use plain LaTeX. Maybe it's in the quantities example. It's not, but I can get my essay units in appropriately. That's pretty cool. Subsection scalars with units, and then they set up their equation. And it's saying to rescale 20. That's weird. I'm gonna have to come back to that. I'm really tired today. My brain is kind of not fully online. So, this is a good thing. We'll have to come back to that later. Let's look at the math package. They have matrix, vectors, math, and then Element, which is kind of what MATLAB uses, I think, is Element. Math environment, name vector, representing a matrix. Aligned equation environment, which we're going to have to do quite a bit. Let's look at the quantities. Oh, cool. SI units package. We needed to install that. And that's just from the library called quantities. Okay. So we just need to call it import quantities. It's just under import. PQ. There we go. And now we should be able to call on it. There we go. Assign new text. Quantities 18. This document's only 43 pages. That's pretty cool. And we just imported it at LaTeX.quantities as PQ. And I'm going to quantities. A product uncertain unit. I'm gonna have to like read this whole thing probably. Let's try to see what they say about fractions. Yeah, our /frac should work now. So let's go ahead and save and rerun. It's saying that it can't be found. Okay, text. Oh, okay. So let me go to my extensions here and let's search for check text. No extension. Is this a library? That's pretty cool. You have to install it from GitHub though. That's pretty cool. So we need to install that before this will work. We just do LaTeX here. Let's do boost LaTeX compiling. Yeah, this one requires check text too. I think a lot of them will, which I do not have. So I think it's here, extensions, LaTeX. I think I'm just gonna disable it. Cool. For now. So that we stop getting that error. We're still getting this stuff here, this /frac stuff is still a little bit of a problem. This is the first time that we call it. When per mode is set to fraction, standard setting is... Do you have any examples anywhere? No code examples. It's a little bit frustrating. So we know that there's a fraction command. I don't know how to implement it. Fraction command example. Let's try that. My search must have the words fraction command in them. Let's try this. So you have to get the math environment to work, which I'm not exactly sure how to do. Hi LaTeX, enable math function. And we actually don't want this, we want D frac. We don't want normal frac, we want D. There's a lot of fractions. Jeez. see what happens. Yeah, we still have some weird stuff going on. Let's see here. Okay, so the big thing, let's just go ahead and get the rest of our updates done for the itemize portion, which I'm really excited about, and then I think I'm gonna call the stream there before trying to get some of this math stuff figured out. Voltage. Okay, and then we want to make sure that we add item as well. And then here we want to do with doc.create, we want to itemize as resistance. And we want to make sure we tab all of those over. And then I need to tab all of these over and get rid of all of the new lines. Okay. And we should be able to run this. We have no major issues. And then in this full text we have more issues because, well, we added more stuff. But things are looking a little bit better. We have a new line here right before resistivity. Right before resistivity, there we go. And that's it. Okay, so we've gotten rid of all of our new lines, which is good. So here for the change, I know it doesn't seem like we did a whole lot, but here we've done some not insignificant updates. Let's do git add instrumental analysis stop high. Let's check to make sure that we've staged it. And now let's add that commit. And let's say that we added bulleted lists. It's not that we added them, it's that we update new lines to bulleted lists. That's more accurate to what we did. Git status. We're going to go ahead and push those commits up. And we also discovered today that we needed this new library called LaTeX itemize. Then we also need to actually import LaTeX quantities to get access to that sinutex library. And we have it updated as PQ, but we need to figure out how to call on the specific methods that exist in that library. I suspect it's going to be something like PQ dot frac or something like that to get those fractions up and going. But, you know, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I feel a lot better about the lists because this is kind of what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be not just doc the whole time, but we actually had to do some different stuff inside that doc and inside the different sections. Anyway, that's all that I am able to do today on this particular project. I might work on it again a little bit later this afternoon so that we can get through this particular this particular day of notes would be really nice to get through. It's getting a little bit grindy here. Anyway, I hope that y'all have maybe taken something away from this, and if not, well, maybe you'll next time. I'll see y'all then. Bye!